Hello, everyone. I have to pin my picture here like this. Okay. I hope everybody can see me and hear me. And I actually, to be more organized, I have little presentation so you can really make a notes today, and you can, keep filling it as we go. So I will try to share it with you. Oh, they're always changing the buttons. Here. Share. This one. Okay. Yeah. Can you see the presentation now? Can someone show that if it's
Yes, I do.
perfect? Perfect. All right. So I am so happy that everybody's here. I'm really excited. I love doing this work. I love helping people with rosacea because I was one of them that suffer with this condition, and it's this is like I love doing this work. So I hope it will be helpful for you. I mean, we can do only as much in these 3 days, but I will give you all the science and all the facts from my experience that really I know that works. And you have to pick yourself which one of these you have to zoom in, and you can zoom out. You will decide as we go. You will know at the end of the 3 days what you have to do. And so before we start, I just like to share with you that I will not be able to give you medical advice. You will need to come. At the moment, I'm based in the UK. If you like to have medical advice, you have to be on a UK ground. Otherwise, I can't give it to you. So this will be for this workshop is for nutritional information and only for educational purposes, so that we don't have some questions already have to decline yesterday in Facebook group. So I just want to make that clear that I would love to give you all the answers I can, but I can't really tell you diagnostics and advise you on treatment and so on. All right, so let's dive in. So today we will go through as the title is, you can heal rosacea. Absolutely can. This is not something, it's just a chapter in your life, and you can really, if you find the root causes, what's causing it, you can really improve it, and sometimes heal completely. So today I will share with you the main pillars that you have to focus on. I will share with you the one patient that changed everything for me. And third thing that we go through is that you have to find what is your secret that is actually bothering the body and showing up as a rosacea. So this is for today. And by the way, if you have any questions, if you are in the Facebook group, this is a great place to put the questions there, so I don't want to miss anything. And also, if you want any questions here, I will look at the chat box at the end, and I can do that too. So both ways it's possible. All right, so let's go, because I will for sure will go over 1 hour, so we have time enough to go through it. So pillar number 1. As you know, there is a lot of already information online, and that gut health is the one avenue that you have to explore if you want to really improve your skin, your rosacea. Yes, you have to do a few things. First of all, find out what is the root cause. So that will be, as here, addressing dysbiosis, SIBO, Candida, leaky gut. This I'm giving you today all the pillars, and in next 2 days we go deep into these pillars in the next 2 days. But today I want to give you all of it, so you can kind of see what we have planned. So removing trigger foods, that's why elimination diet always works as a gold standard in functional medicine. You can be focusing on histamine, on low food map, removing gluten or eliminating gluten for some time, especially in America. I used to live in US 5 years in New Jersey, and I know that gluten is different there compared to Europe. I am gluten-free even here in Europe. You can do various tests for food sensitivity. It's important to rule out celiac disease. And then some people, what I found is so much confusion about the gluten. I will talk about gluten more tomorrow, but there is either gluten sensitivity or wheat sensitivity or, gliadin, or it's so many variables. So you have to really find out, maybe you are fine with gluten. So you have to really be in detail and differentiate what is it that you struggle with that can create the inflammation, because inflammation is a center stage. That's what we always, this is what is the fueling of inflammation is the reaction in the body that's showing as rosacea, but the inflammation is fueled by sources, as now we're talking about gut. You have to support the mucosal healing. I will talk about that again more tomorrow. But just for now, there are a few supplements. I'm not very keen on supplements. I believe that supplements have its place if we know what we are missing. But just throwing things in the body just makes it worse sometimes, and especially with rosacea, which is condition where the immune system, it's not optimized well. We just overwhelming the body and we're thinking why we're not getting better. But sometimes it's very, very important to supplement, especially if you know what you're missing. And of course, we will talk tomorrow about the gut microbiome and in deep depth, and also what probiotics, prebiotics, what are polyphenols, what to take, and so on. And as again, I can only, say general recommendation. I can't tell you what you have to take because I'm not your doctor. And of course, we don't want to end it up in diet that has 10 ingredients. We want to go through this phase. That's why it's elimination diet, that duration is about 1 month. And then we want to slowly and gradually come back to this food. I do this with my patients. You have to be guided really well, because otherwise you ended up with confusion. You will not know which food was it if you don't do it properly. It's proper protocol how to do that well, so you really have clarity which food actually you can or you can't have. So it's important to go through this phase. So if you have someone in your area that is functional medicine practitioner, this would be something that I would highly advise you to do, because they are qualified and they can help you. Otherwise, obviously you can try like me. I was doing trial and error. And I think if you tune into the body, you always know the answer as well. So that's pillar 1. This will be a huge chapter, the gut health. Second pillar is immune and histamine focus. So this is something that maybe you consider this as well. This time of age, we talk about it also. Immune system is definitely something that you have to consider, even maybe immunologist to have a look at you and do some blood tests, because the rosacea is inflammation, and immune system play a big role in this chronic condition. And often when we have gut dysbiosis, it's linked to histamine overload. So when you start improving your gut, the histamine will less and less will bother you. But there are some bacteria that are actually like Klebsiella. It's really high histamine producing bacteria in the gut. So when you will get rid of it, you will eventually improve your histamine balance, and you will be more resilient, and you will not flare up after having avocado or anything, any food like this. There are some food that you can support, like quercetin, vitamin D. Vitamin D is something that you can test. It's cheap test. Everybody should know the levels of vitamin D. It's absolutely basic vitamin that we should have a knowledge of how much is our vitamin D levels. So ask your doctor. This test is cheap. They should be doing it, no problem. This is the question in Facebook group. Yeah, we need to know. You need to know your level of vitamin D and then supplement it. The best is D3K2. Okay. So this is another one that we will talk when we talk about gut, because it's connected so well. But some people will need to be more focused on histamine, balancing histamine, because they will have tendency more in the MCAS, which is the one syndrome that I'm not talking here because it's not for this. But eventually, with the doctor, is something you can identify. But just so you know that it exists. Okay. Next one. Oh, sorry. Next one is, of course, there is now common knowledge that there is the skin gut axis, the eye, because rosacea is often in the eye as well. There is a gut-eye axis. So we have to really make sure that we have the barrier, it's really strong. And that's what we will have when we remove all the triggers, when we decrease the inflammation, then this barrier will really become stronger. Of course, we can support it from inside out, also from the outside. So I'm sure that you discovered things that works for you. I always like to use the Yuka app, this YUKA. I show you the app. It changed my life because I have to throw a lot of things away from my bathroom. Maybe you know this one already, but I want to it's this one. Yuka up. Can you see that, everybody? It's like a carrot, and it's YUKA. It's, I think, everywhere. Well, you can use it in America. You can use it in Europe. In Australia, I'm not sure. You have to try, but it should work on majority of the products. And I go in the shop when I have my favorites. As I said, I'm not paid by these companies, but I have my favorite that I found just by coincidence in Whole Foods when I was living in Princeton in New Jersey, and that was the Mad Hippie. I use it until today, and I love it so much. For some people, it can be a little bit too aromatic, but I just love the peptide serum and the facial the day cream. And then it's new brand from my friend that I love also, but not all of it, but I love the night cream, and that's Dr. Jackson's. That's a bit more expensive, but it's good as well. And it's, again, on Yuka app, it's really high rating. So be guided by this. It usually works. Recently, I was my daughter wanted lip balm, and I realized I could not find any good lip balm in the shop with this app. And if I imagine how many teenagers putting so much toxic lip balms on their lips, and then they eating it just makes me very worried. So optimizing also omega-3 status, it's so important. I have patients that they come to me and they saying, oh yes, I'm taking omega-3s, and then we look at the bottle and it's very low levels. So you want to have the EPA and DHA around 2000, minimum 1000. So if you have supplement at home, have a look how much it is. It should be together up to 2000. Again, I have my favorites here in the UK. It's Actase. I think you can buy it as omega-I in the US. I'm not sure, but those one I'm taking, and not regular, because we know sometimes that we also need the omega-6, which is the GLA, which can be the primrose oil, will be very, very important especially for someone who is suffering from the meibomian glands dysfunction, so the ocular rosacea. But it can be really helpful also for you if you have, cutaneous rosacea on the face. So this is really as well something that we will look when we are talking about this in more detail, because there are some tests that you can do also. I will share this. So nervous system regulation. This one is so overlooked, and I want to bring it to the surface, because this one will take, I can guarantee you, this one will take the longest time to optimize and to work on, because I was in huge denial. As I was in denial in many things, this one was a big one for me. And I see that in many of my patients, and I see it as also in the rosacea healing program. We are doing meditation every week. And I see how in the beginning, people don't believe that actually it can make something for them. But this is huge. I will be showing you how to meditate and why is it so important, all the connection, how it's all like vicious cycle. And if you have to you have to stop the cycle, step out and create new one. I'll be sharing all this with you when we go through this topic in depth. But if you're telling me that if you have conversation with someone and you go red, you have flare up. If you're telling me that you are not sleeping well and you are always kind of on a little bit of stress, but you think you are fine, you will see what happens when you actually start doing this breath work. You will become a different person. That's what happened to me. I was really in denial as a just like I was eye surgeon, I was medical doctor, and I said, well, I don't need to do yoga. Like, who does yoga? And then I got rosacea. So it was like, okay, so what I do now? But I met this yogi, Tommy, when I was used to live in Germany, and he said, "Oh, come, we can do meditation." I said, "I don't need meditation. Like, I don't need to sit here 30 minutes, just breathe." He said, "Oh, if you think that, maybe you need even longer time, maybe 40 minutes to calm down." And I said, "Well, I don't think so." So we started this meditation, and I realized how I was always on the go. This stress levels that like always kind of ready to jump. And I feel it now, oh my gosh, talking about it. And then I realized that this is something that I have to work on in a big way. And it took me some time before I really could feel my body actually talking to me, because otherwise, because all these burning, all these are signals from your body, and I was completely ignoring it, and I was ignoring it for decades. I had all sorts of different symptoms completely ignored. And then rosacea finally shook me to my core, and I'm thinking, okay, body, what do you need? And that's what happened. But that's why we will talk about this, because now science, caught up, and we have already scientific proof for this. So you have to really explore. If you will not explore this, no matter what you eat and no matter what you drink or supplements you will take, this system, the stress response will still drive the inflammation. So that's why it's a pillar that we have to go in depth, and we have to explore this. So next one, of course, that's my favorite, not favorite, they're all my favorite, but it's biggie, because we all are on sugar roller coaster. Majority of us anyway, because when we look at the statistics, we have majority of people are metabolically unhealthy. And so CGM is very helpful, the continuous glucose monitor. We will talk about this again in more depth, because this is foundation for everything, for your body energy. If you are not having metabolic health in place, no matter what you will work on and you stuck on it, it will not work. That's why it's a pillar again. We need to be metabolically healthy. You have to know what food will spike your blood sugar. You have to rule out if you have insulin resistance. You have to see how you can support this. There are some supplements like magnesium or B vitamin or CoQ10, but nothing will happen if you just take the supplements. You have to really align the body and give it what it needs, because the metabolic health will help you to reduce the inflammation, and it will improve the gut microbiome, and it will improve the pillar one, which is the gut health. So it's all connected. It will improve also your stress response, because we know when we improve the gut microbiome, when we are more metabolically healthy, we have better mood. And if you have better mood, you will have be more resilient. And when we talk now pillar 4, you will have better nervous regulation. And again, you will decrease the inflammation. Sorry, it might be a bit big mouthful, but I just want to give you today the whole picture so we can unwrap it piece by piece within the next 2 days. And also I kept some bonus call. If I need to do more of questions, we can do that next week. So definitely your GP or your physician can help you to find out how metabolically healthy you are. We know from studies that we as rosacea women, I guess majority of women is here. Sorry if I missed some men, but we are more prone for comorbidities such as cardiovascular disease. Majority of us, or a lot of us, will have high cholesterol. Not necessarily diabetes, but cardiovascular health is something that you have to explore. Another one is the gut health. We know that there is a huge connection between rosacea and SIBO and C4. I will talk about it, but it's all connected. So the blood sugar regulation is really important. You can ask your doctor not only to test for the hemoglobin A1C, the HbA1c, which is it will show you blood sugar last 3 months. This is measuring, too far downstream. We want to check our insulin levels, although definitely fasting insulin levels, fasting glucose is something that you ask your doctor to take, because this will help you to kind of navigate this. And if you want, now you can, I think, even in US buy the continuous glucose monitor, and this one will help you so much. It changed my life. I was thinking, I'm eating well. This was already when my rosacea was much better. It was almost healed. And I sometimes only had this, sometimes red nose, but that was it. And I knew it was when I ate too much of these high food maps vegetables. Otherwise, it was all fine. And then I realized I spike after banana. I spike if I have more than 10 grapes. My sugar goes astronomically high. So those are the things that we know really matter, because when your blood sugar it's more than 110, which is American units, it will be toxic for the body. So imagine you're doing this 5 times a day, and every time you are 2 hours in toxic range, that means 10 hours. It's almost half of the day. It's just too much. So this one is sometimes I have patients that they only work on metabolic health because they needed to lose weight. They needed to improve they were pre-diabetic, and rosacea just went away. So that's why you have to discover what is your secret. This one was mine. I was hooked on sugar because as a junior doctor, I was eating a lot of chocolate. I was eating a lot of sweets, and I was not doing so well regarding this. Okay. Pillar 6, detoxification and liver support. So some doctors still don't believe the word detox, which about with detoxifying all the time. We are peeing, we are urinating, we are pooping. So that's all that we sweat. There's all detoxification that goes from the body. You have to be able to do this, and that's why it's pillar 6, because I never want to do this first. Because if the body is overwhelmed, it's really overwhelmed with all the inflammation and also with all these immune disbalances, people having flare-ups. I always like to do first the elimination diet and find out the triggers and do the detoxification a little bit further, because otherwise it's more burden for the body. And if we are all constipated, we can't even properly detoxify. So that's why it's important to first work on the gut, but then definitely you have to give the liver some love. And these are some for example, of course, this personalized how we do this, because it's important that we at this point you might be completely healed, or you need some more support on personal level, because not everyone will be having same amount of supplements, same type of supplements, but there are some nuances that I will talk in actually next slide. But for example, I hear say access methylation. So there is one SNP that some people can suffer from, which is MTHFR. It's MTHFR, which is really these people struggle with methylation. With they have low B12, they will have the B vitamins always low, and doctors doesn't know why, and that's why you have to take different type of B vitamins. Some people, never find out, but it's really, as women also, the hormone, the estrogen we have in a gut, estrobolome, that it's focusing, that is really doing all the job, that we hormonally kind of balanced. So yes, definitely liver support is important. So again, if you are improving your gut, if you are working on a metabolism, you're already working on your liver. This is for someone really who maybe had some liver conditions before. Maybe you have to talk with the doctor, but we're doing this already when we're working on a gut health and we're working on a metabolic health. And when we are detoxifying, when we're fighting the triggers, so that you don't have the reaction. So this one is as number 6, but you will find out that you're actually doing this already. And yes, for sure, we want to optimize the gut health and not to be either have diarrhea or constipation. I will talk about more, and that's tomorrow. There will be some quizzes so you can assess yourself where you are. And especially some people that they don't have the gallbladder, it can be challenging. And one which this is more environmental a trigger, but I can talk about this here. It's so many nuances that you might not realize. So I have one lady, and she was almost healed, but still sometimes would have a flare-up. And then we start talking about it, like mild flare-up, nothing severe. And I think still sometimes it goes. And she was having on empty stomach, when she was walking to work, she was on an empty stomach. She didn't drink. She was having oatmeal coffee with cinnamon, and she was having in a cup, paper cup with a plastic coating and a plastic cup. And I'm thinking that it's the coffee. It's not the coffee, but it's the plastic cup with the plastic top that she's just drinking. And soon enough, when she stopped doing it, she had much less flare-ups. So all these little nuances can really play. Like I would never drink coffee from the paper cup already a few years, because when I saw this research, how much plastic particles is in it and how much all these leaching chemicals go in the cup, I won't have it. And another problem with coffee is, which I love coffee, and I have time to time with the coffee, it's sometimes full of mold. If you have to have really good coffee place or making your own, so there is no mold issue, that you have organic coffee that is not sprayed in glyphosate or with other just kind of toxins, and then you're drinking it. So I think now also, I didn't dig deeper in this, but for years I was using Nespresso with these cups that has the metal aluminum top, and you pierce it, and the coffee and the water goes through it. And I'm thinking, I'm sure this was not good either, because heavy metal toxicity is another one. When you have to, this is the target test when you have to do for this. But this is, again, you can do so much yourself. You don't need a doctor. That's why I love this work, because I was able to heal myself without anyone, just doing this work that I'm telling you now in this workshop. And pillar 7 is, we have to, if people are almost healed, they're doing so well, and they still little nuances, then maybe they do need antibiotics. If they have a SIBO, you need these days we have. I'm not talking about doxycycline low dose for 4 months. No, I'm talking about targeted antibiotics that you take, you kill the bad bug, and you replenish with a good one. So I'm talking about targeted interventions, and we can do that. It's quite investment, because you have these tests. Unfortunately, it's still expensive from the companies, but you can test so many things these days. We are really lucky. For those who really want to invest, you can do the stool analysis, You can do a SIBO test. Maybe some of you already did that work. You can check for the omega-3 index. That I would advise everyone to do that. If you go to omegaquant.com, you can purchase this test. It's not expensive, and you will be surprised. You will be shocked. So I always, because we don't in NHS, I do private work, and as well in hospital, NHS, the National Health Service, and the patient in NHS, I always say, please go to this website and check your omega-3 index, because those are patients also who have age-related macular degeneration and all these glaucoma, and of course rosacea as well, and dry eye. And they bring me the test back, and I have just a handful of patients that that was in normal levels. The majority of people are low because they just taking wrong supplements. That's why I'm telling you, have a really good, if you want to take supplements, just buy it from the source that they actually do some testing. So in the UK, it will be Natural Dispensary, and in the US, it will be Fullscript. So they don't have, products that are kind of low quality. So always look for the quality. There was a recent article that one of you sent it to me about turmeric. And so that the lady had some, severe reaction. So it's not necessarily about the turmeric. I know that some people don't they don't tolerate turmeric in high doses. But the problem with this is not only turmeric itself, it's about the other stuff that are in there. So always read the labels. It's not only, we're not talking about the food here, because that's another workshop that I have. If you're really confused what food to eat and what not to eat, we can talk about it. I will give you, link to another workshop that I did with my sugar stove, when we talk all about that. There's not space for this here. It's kind of a higher level here. So really check. No, not only, actually Yuka app can as well test for food. I don't think they test for supplements, but just always read the labels. Not only what the marketing says, but actually what's in the bottle. And just if you really already did so much work, just go and do some testing, because the worst thing is that we don't want to really guess. So we have a lot to go through, and sleep is another one that I will blend here and there, but that's another pillar. But it will be just too much. But sleep and circadian biology is something that I didn't put it here, but it's something that we work on a lot in the program, and we focusing, because sleep is so crucial. If we don't have good night's sleep, we can't optimize anything during the day. And also we are out of sync. We should be eating with circadian rhythm, and only when the sun is actually up, and not when it's, and the lighting is just something that you really have to tune in a big way, because this is one of the pillars. It's another one that needs exploring and needs attention, if something that you think you need. All right. So as you can see, this might sound very complex, but it's actually something that I shared with you. So you can do a cross or a check if something that's something that you have to work on. I go from inflammation here on the top. So inflammation is the one that we all have to work on, and it will be feeded various things. Immune dysfunction, yes, we all will have some immune dysregulation that is going connected to the skin. That's why the immune system is super, super important. Gut dysbiosis, microbiome imbalances. So either we have very little variability in our gut, I will show you tomorrow how to improve it, or we have bad bacteria, which again, you have to do certain different things. Food sensitivities. I have a lot of people coming and they doing all these various tests, and they stop eating the food. I give you, that has a little caveat. So I do this testing for a few years now, and I think I learned that if I do also the leaky gut test with these women, I when they have leaky gut, all the food they're eating will be on a food sensitivity, logically, because everything that goes through will the immune system will detect and will give you the antibodies. So that's why I'm not, yes, definitely work on food sensitivities, but I'm more for the elimination diet and then some testing, and just be mindful what is there, so that can help you navigate in more mindful way. Nutrition deficiencies, I will be talking about this as well. Very, very important. I just mentioned vitamin D, very important one. Everybody should know the level. Omega-3, omega-6 ratio, another one that everybody should know their level. If you can check magnesium. Now, those who are in the US, you are very lucky, because Mark Hyman, he launched 3 years ago Function Health, and they test you for everything, so you don't need to be worried to asking, for all these, because that's all there. I did it myself now twice, and it's just amazing. As I said, another one, blood sugar regulation, dysregulation. Yes, it's very important. Mitochondrial dysfunction, that's something that we can test for when you did all this work. And I can guarantee when you will do all this work, you will not need anything else. But for those who will really need something else, again, you can have some test. Some people ask me, well, my mom had it and my grandma had it. I have it too. Some genetic predisposition. Yes, there is genetic predisposition, but you are expressing it because you do similar things that your mom did and your grandma did. If you change the way what you eat, how you talk to yourself, how you live, and what you're exposed to, I can guarantee you that you can reduce, and the genetic expression will not show up. So hormonal imbalances, absolutely, yes. Some of you might have rosacea when you enter the menopause or prior to that. Definitely, it's good to explore hormonal. There is a good test, a Dutch test, that it's very good one from urine. But I can tell you that if you will improve the gut health, if you will improve the metabolic health, the hormone balance will take care of itself, because it's so tied together. We know that if you stop eating sugar, you will not have PMS, and I can. So now I'm in the kind of perimenopause phase, and I can make my own, a flush, a hot flush if I want to, because I know that I will react highly to sugar. So if I want to have hot flush, I can have ice cream with some huge ice cream, and I can have something else, and I will have hot flush just like that, because that's how the body is. You have to know your body that well, so you can see, or you can say, majority of time, as I do, I thank you, I don't take that, because I just like to feel good. Neurological factors, that's something that it's not so common, but worth to explore. A stress is a biggie. That's the one that I will talk about on Sunday. Mast cell activation is, again, it's tied to immune system, and there's for those people who are having kind of hives, who are really high on histamine. I would definitely explore this avenue and go like this. You have to do with your doctor. Like, do you have mast cell, the MCAS or not? And then the environmental allergens. It's just, we live in the sea of pollutants. We, now with the plastics, even the new science show that plastic water contains so much little particles. So you have to really declutter. You have to decide how much you want to declutter, obviously, but as the more the better. Same with the toxic exposure. Some people live in mold and moldy houses. Is very unfortunate, because this one is something we can't just change on the dime. We have to maybe get some filters, air filters if possible, but it's a big issue. I have few of these patients, and they did so well. They changed their diet, so they improved so well, so much. And then they tell me after they did all this work, I said, you know what? I think it's also the mold, because we have leak in the bedroom. So imagine you breathing these toxins all night long, and you can't basically detoxify at all, because for some people who are really sensitive to this mycotoxins, you can't really move the needle. But she did well, even living in a moldy bedroom. But now I think she moved, so she can be doing so well. And of course, sleep disturbances. As I said, we don't talk about this here, the circadian biology and sleep and movement. But have a look at it. This was another of my denial. I thought I can sleep little hours and I will be functioning well. Yes. Someone else entered the room. Maybe I could when I was really young, but then it stopped. And the body, I see it on our children. They have all these sleepovers. They need 2 weeks to catch up. And so sleep is really important. There are different types of insomnia that you can have. Either difficulty to fall asleep, or difficulty to that you are awake and you can't fall asleep at night. All these things can be managed. It's so many things you can do about it. So ask your doctor for some help. As I said, I'm not going through this, but sleep is super important. I have one lady, and she had both. She had rosacea and she was a little bit obese. And she said, Radka, I can't do the cooking. It's impossible. So I don't know where to start. I said, you know what? We start with the sleep, because she's telling me that she's binge watching movies, and she's going to bed at 1 or later every night. So I said, you stop binge watching, just finish the series and then put the date in the calendar, and you start creating different routine. And in the beginning, of course, we are creates of habits, and it's not easy to change routine and our habits. But that she did, and day by day she was feeling better and better. And after a few weeks, she's calling me. She said, "Oh, I lost weight, and my skin is flaring much less." And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, the sleep is just so powerful. So if some of you here have difficulty with sleep, please explore this avenue, get some help, and really get some help and work on your sleep, because it's super important. So much we can do these days that you're not aware of this. The sleep routine starts in the morning. The minute you go outside in the light is the time when you will set well your sleep at night, because that's how you start your circadian clock. Every cell in the body has a clock, and this is when you will start that with a count. So this is kind of everything. I hope, I don't want that it's overwhelming, but I just want to give you everything, and you think, oh yes, I have to work on the food. Yes, I have to work on my gut because I have this. Yes, I have to work on my stress. So slowly and gradually you can unpack. I mean, I have to work on everything, so I know it can be overwhelming, but I just want to give you this wheel, because you have to have this awareness that everything in life what you do will really affect your body. Even a bad conversation will create this stress response that you're not aware of. And then, a few hours later, you have a flare-up. It will be if you have lack of sleep, if you have, a coffee that is full of toxins and you're not aware of this. So it's a lot of explore, but just to give you that wheel. So as I told you, I'm a medical doctor. I grew up in Czech Republic in Europe. I studied medicine in Prague, and I lived in many countries. So not Czech Republic, but also Germany, United Kingdom, Australia, and America. And I was this conventional doctor, didn't believe in anything. I didn't know how yoga. I thought it's not important to have a meditation where you need to sit and doing nothing, until one day I got sick myself, because I was completely ignoring everything what was body telling me when I was younger version of myself. This was around 15 years ago. And as you can imagine, of course, I got rosacea myself. some days I look like left, some days I look like right. And I was thinking, this is only picture I have. I didn't took more pictures because I thought I will need to hide it all my life. I regret so much I didn't took more photos, because I would see how, with the things that I did, how it was improving. And so I never think I will ever heal. I thought that this is for life now, that this is how I look, and this I have to hide. I hate it. I always avoid mirrors. I just was just horrible. I was feeling that I don't know why I deserve this, and I want to be kind, and this is what I have. And one day I was doing all these things because I was a little bit overweight. So there was one Richard Lustig, and he was talking about sugar. I'm thinking, oh, I'm eating a lot of sugar, and sugar causes. Remember, it was 15 years ago. Sugar causing inflammation. So maybe it's me, and I was eating a lot of chocolate in the work because that's like the quick sugars. So it's just so bad. And so I tried that. Nothing happened. So that's why I'm telling you, if you just, oh yeah, I cut sugar, nothing happened. No, because it's not enough. It's not enough the threshold that you need to get to really kick off the better pathway that will create the healing. And as you can imagine, I told you that I was in complete denial with meditations. And I told you also that no matter what you eat, if you still on a stress response, you will it will not happen. So it took me a long time. And then when I start digging more and more, my colleague told me, oh, you have to take antibiotics. And I was in breastfeeding or pregnant over the years. So I said, I never took anything. But then I started working on this metabolic health and all these pillars that I shared with you today, or sleep as well, which is not in the pillars today, but sleep was a big one for me. I had to get the Oura ring because I realized that I don't sleep basically enough. And so I was browsing and I was looking for everything on the internet, and I realized that really maybe there is something I can do. And I start doing, and I was like onion. When you're peeling one leaf and that the onion, it still has another 100 leaves. So that was for me. I was always learning something new about myself, until one day when I did finish. It's like, imagine puzzle. You have, the pieces everywhere, and you have to create the picture, and you don't know where things goes. And for me, it was like doing this puzzle. So I have like metabolic health was off. I have to put that there. Gut health was bad. I was constipated. I have to put that there. And I was start doing this puzzle. And then one day, it took me about 7 months. I realized, my gosh, my skin. My husband told me, your skin looks better. And so that was oh, I'm on something. And I start really doing what I'm doing now. And I love it because I want to support people. That are not medical doctors, and they can't read the science as I can. Sorry, it always makes me so sad, because even today, my colleagues, they don't see the way what I'm presenting to you, because the new science is not yet in the door of the conventional doctors. It's still just as a science. You can read all about it on PubMed, but it didn't reach yet the door of the ophthalmologist. That's what I am. Didn't reach the dermatologist. That's what I am. Didn't reach the door of the any other doctor, because it just takes always time. It takes time before the new science reach the conventional doctor. And this is what just makes me so upset, because I know that there is better way. So this is my way to you, to show you that there is better way. And so go through the pillar and really ask yourself, as I did ask myself, like, what I have to do. Well, I have to do everything as I told you. It was not at one go. It was hard for me to get rid of the sugar, because I was so addicted to it. I was unable to I failed a few times when I started doing this this work, and then finally I did it. And it will make you so proud and it will just make you feel so good. I remember the time we were living in Germany, and I went to this place where they always selling these beautiful cupcakes, and where I always was salivating. And I went there and I'm thinking, what's going on? I'm not actually salivating. I'm like, I don't fancy it. And this was the moment when I realized I conquered this. And because I swap the bad food for the good food. So I was never good, eating too much of vegetables. I thought that I'm eating vegetables if it's like tomato on pizza and I have a little broccoli in the pasta. It's not what I'm talking about. You have to start counting. I will talk about it tomorrow. You have to start counting the good vegetables, the good fruits, the things that actually move the needle in your healing. And you will start the first time. First, it will be chore. It was chore for me, but then you kind of, your body will call for it, and you will crave it, and you will say, "Oh my gosh, I love this! I can't wait to make this lunch tomorrow, or I can't wait to have this breakfast tomorrow, or just I can't wait to fast." Like whatever works. And also for me, what was big as well, and for others as well, it's not. I'm telling you this because I can tell you from my heart what it was and how I change what I do. I do this work, but I see it as well in my patients if they do the work. I see it in a participant in the rosacea healing programs, how a transformative changes they have. Maybe it takes. That's why the program is 1 year, because I realize, well, I can't just tell you what to do and then leave you to it. We need support. I needed support. And how I actually came up to this was because when I was living in Australia, how I came up to this understanding that we all need support is because if you find someone that you trust and the person knows more than you in that topic, and you are guided by them, you succeed. So I give you the example that I realized, oh my gosh, I need coaches for everything because it really works. So we were living in Australia, and I had a little daughter then, and she didn't sleep. And one friend told me, there are these sleep whisperers. She can help you. And I call one, and then I said, okay. So I was on the phone. She never met the baby, and she was telling me exactly what to do. And I was in detail. She said, give her food at 12 and put her to bed at 1. Give her this and that, for dessert this. And so I did exactly what she was telling me. First, when I put her down, she was crying. She said, no, don't go there. She's gapping. She will fall asleep. I was on the phone with that lady. I listened to it. It was so hard for me because I wanted to go there as usual because she was crying. But because I listened, it worked. In 3 days, I had completely different baby. And I could not believe it. And I'm thinking, I have no clue about this. Of course, I didn't establish because we were moving so much. Her routine was not established, so that was what needs to be improved. But what I'm saying is that if you find someone that can help you to go through it, either if you're, as I said, a functional medicine practitioner who can do some testing, who can help you, this will be really great experience for you, because you will kind of skip the wait until you see like what's going on. You will know faster what is your secret. And also what I want to also share is like, be happy. I know that's easy for me to say now because I really hated my skin. I truly did. I was just so upset all the time. I was avoiding the going places. I came home and my family, oh, what happened to your face? It's like, I dislike this, comments and everything around it. But when I also did another work, which is family constellation, kind of, I did it, start doing it Czech Republic, I did it in New York. I start kind of understanding that we have to be happy and in peace with what is. And I remember, so I can't put a date into to the calendar when my rosacea disappeared, was no longer there. But I could put the day in calendar when I finally started loving myself with rosacea. And I remember I was in the bathroom, and I was just suddenly looking at this face, and I was just I had to just hug myself. And I think this moment was the tipping point when the body finally relaxed, and I said, oh, okay, after this fighting for years for this perfectionist, I was perfectionist. I always meant to be perfect. And then I have this, which is not perfect at all. So I was fighting my body for years. And finally, I was able to just say, you know what? I'm alive. I just love everything about me, even the red face, even the inflamed face. And if you do that, you will be free. And I was still not healed, but I know that that was the moment when I really just started working on it. I even did the mantra when I felt like it's coming, when I felt that it's stress, like people watching at me, and when I was presenting in a conference, it was horrible, like, oh, like this face. But when I had these thoughts, I always just said to myself, my skin is calm, all is good. And I really believe in it, and it just kind of calmed me down. And I think this piece of puzzle was huge. I would never believe, now we have a science that proved that, but I would never believe that it was so powerful. And so, yeah, I just wanted to share this, because this you will not find in medical books, but it's how the body can really heal when we go from sympathetic, like, oh, what I have here, every day we're punishing ourselves, to parasympathetic, when the healings actually can happen. There's the rest digest, not when we asking. I know when someone asked me a question like, how long it will take to heal, I know that if you hear, you never ask this. You don't ask when you hear, because you just say, well, it takes as long as the body needs to, so I wanted to share. I hope it was helpful for you, because it was very, very transformative for me. And there are many others. I just give you a few examples, like various reasons for improvement of skin. They were working on different pillars, but they all had rosacea. And again, as I said, just as example, so much we can do. Oh, this one. Yeah, this one. So now is important to sit with this lot of information and really think, what is your secret? What is it that you don't know yet that's really kind of can't stop the inflammation, the tap? And what is it? Maybe it's in your gut. It was for gut for me, and for many people I know it's in the gut, because there's a huge connection. The way how we live, the food we eat is just not good enough. That creates the good, really rich gut microbiome, like our ancestor ate. They had much richer, much bigger variety of gut microbiome. The nervous system, that's what I just told you. If we are not in the parasympathetic nervous system, the body will it will be impossible to heal, because if you are sympathetic, you should be ready to live, ready to act, ready to fight, ready to do anything. So that's really big as well. And I find this is many as well, that we just don't have the self-love for ourselves. Like, okay, body, what do you need? Because actually, maybe you don't see it yet, but really rosacea is your gift. And it's showing you the way how the body is out of balance, and we didn't listen for so long. So now we have it in the face, and the body is just like, okay, now you listen. If I show you that something is completely off. And that's the entry point for deeper conversation of our body. And that was, for me, was rosacea. And maybe it's for you too. Maybe you have different issues that you need to work on. But just please keep in mind that the nervous system is really, really important to think about, like what you can do, how you can do more hugs, either self-hug or hug other person, to get this the calmness, and just to self-love is just so important. And be with yourself compassionate, not just avoiding the mirrors and hiding from people. That's what I did, and it's pretty natural. But I'm now telling you that you know better, and you can do better. immune system. Some people will need to, maybe that's your secret, maybe it's hidden in immune system, you didn't discover it yet. Maybe it's you have to balance more the immune system in a really great depth, and or maybe it's in your disbalance of blood sugar. That was mine too, that I was just so high in inflammation and so metabolically unhealthy that I had to go through really a lot of work that really bring me to much better person. Actually, I'm much happier. I'm so happy I had rosacea, because it's completely shift me to many zones that I never thought I will go. But I'm so happy that I can hopefully you have something from this today, and I can teach you this, and the emotions and the mind. It's just so important, and spirituality, which I'm not talking about this. We have a spirituality in functional medicine in the matrix, because that's how that's, after all, I believe that's how we heal on a spiritual level. But the mind is just so important, that you explore what is it, what the conversation you have with your friends, how you feel, how these conversations make you feel, what is it in your workplace, and all these things really matter, because everything that happens to you, no matter if you eat food or drink, if you breathe air, or if you hear through the ear any words of either a positive or negative, it all influences our genetic expression. And there's the huge science of epigenetic, that's really your body's listening, and your body keeps a score. So if you will not listen, like I did not, and I was actually had to explore all of these, and plus sleep, and this is something that we have to all be honest with ourselves and see, like, what is it that we have to do to really finally move the needle. And yeah, I just want to share with you that your body is not broken, and you can really heal. And I know, because I did it myself, and I know because I help so many people. And I want you to be just, I hope this will make you more kind of compassionate towards yourself, and you'll be asking these questions, and you'll be able to answer it as well. I will be doing tomorrow some questionnaires about the gut health. So tomorrow will be really about the gut health a lot. And then we will also do the gut health a little bit on Sunday, but of Saturday, but we will really tune in tomorrow. And what is, I think, most important is that, when I was having rosacea, I thought I'm this acorn, that this just like I this is what I have, and nothing will change, and I will stay forever the acorn. But when I'm helping these women's, I only expect transformation. And transformation is significant alteration. It's not change. We can change for a few months, we can change for 3 months or weeks, but what we want is create something that we fall in love with, our new kind of identity, our new way of living. And this is only can happen when we transform from this acorn to this oak. And I want you to know that we all have this capacity, that maybe you don't see the potential. When you see acorn, you don't see the potential that it has, the nutrients, all these things that actually can grow into the acorn, the oak tree. But I want you to share that I'm here to support you, and I want you to believe that you have this capacity to explore what is your secret, and really move from this condition, that you really kind of make it disappear, but with love and compassion. And this is why I'm doing this work, so that you can do it naturally. You can have a doctor help, but this is all in our power. And I just wanted to share this with you, and I hope it resonates. So Only 5 minutes over time. I'm proud of myself. So I will close this. And so I hope it was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, the questions you can put also, oh, thank you, Stacy. You can also put the questions in a Facebook group because that's where we all are. And Louis is saying, thank you so much. I cannot make Saturday, but one please could be send it to me. Yes, you will. If you register with the link, I will be sending a link to with the recording. So this was recorded, and I'll be sharing that with you. If you didn't also hear the other presentation that I had, this is more kind of with the gut microbiome. I think it was on the thank you page, but I can share that as with you. Yeah. So any questions? I hope it was helpful. I it's always very hard for me to, because you are in different levels of you are, some of you did healing journey, some of you just starting. So it's very hard to kind of design this that helps everyone the same way. But I hope it was helpful. And a food workshop also. Okay, yeah. I will share it in the Facebook group. This is the My Sugar Stop workshop that is I developed because that was my as well to help people with diabetes and with insulin resistance. Yeah, I can share that in the Facebook group as well. And if you don't have any questions or any comment, yeah, if you want to comment, you just please, you can just unmute and share what you need to share. Anyone? I've seen dermatologists for 5 years and she never once mentioned gut health. I appreciate this. Yeah, but that's, I would not blame anyone because it's just what it is. I'm interested because this is my passion, because I was there and I know how so much suffering it is. So I know the new science, but as I said, it usually takes years, decade before the new science come to the door of normal, conventional doctor. You will find functional medicine practitioner. Of course, it's investment because it's not paid by insurance, but this is something you can do. Anybody in the UK, or where are you from? Can you tell me where you're from? Stacy's in US, and where in US, Stacy? In the UK, ocular rosacea. Yeah, with ocular auditory Michigan, very nice. I need more food ideas, just eating chicken and rice. Yeah, no, this is exactly what you need to upgrade a little bit. Yeah, if you're in the UK, there's always, ways how we can connect. If you need, eventually you need help. But we go through all this in detail in the program. That's why we meet every week and we go through all the details. That's why we do as well the program that it's paid and that the duration is 1 year. It's 4 months of content, and then we do the work as we go for 1 year. But I just love to do these workshops so much, so that I hope it's good and understandable. Yeah, ocular rosacea, we can do maybe sometimes various things than to facial rosacea, because sometimes ocular rosacea can be a bit stubborn and people heal in the face and still they have symptoms in the eye. But yeah, everything it's is possible if you're really open to it. All right then, so I will not take more of your time if nobody wants to say anything. I I would love if you think of any more questions, put it in a Facebook group. So you have it, answered, and you can just kind of work on it and really do some steps in your healing journey to heal from inside out. Okay. Thank you, Carol, as well. Thank you being on camera. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care.